Hey, I'm Max and welcome to this infinite game tutorial. In this tutorial I will teach you how to make a game like this, which is sort of like a Flappy Bird if you've ever played it. The goal is to go between the street lights and pick up various powers, like the power up here that gives me twice the amount of score, this one right here that gives me an additional life, so if I hit something I can go back a little bit, and this power up right here that gives me a shield, so if I hit something it breaks it instead of killing me. When I finally lose, I can see my score, my IS score and my total score, and it gets saved to my computer or mobile phone. This part of the tutorial will probably be the last. We're going to add the life system, so we're going to create some things so we have one life when we start, and then we can get some power up to add some lives. And if we hit something and we have more than one life left, it's going to sort of teleport us back a little bit and make us be able to start again. So first I'll add on my canvas a image, and I'll drag in my heart right here for my life. I'll put it here at the top left, and next to it I'll put a text, this size right here, best fit, and I'll put 1 by default in it. I'll put it red and increase the max size to, let's say, 80 to make sure it fills the space, and I will also center it. Then in my player data I'll create a public static int life. In my game script I will add a live text, and I will initiate my life to 2 for now just so we can test, but usually it will be 1. And in my start I'll do live text equals to player data.live, and then toString to make it a string. Then when we call the die function on our player, I'll do if player data.life is greater than 1, and if I do have more than one life then I want to remove that life, so minus minus, and then return so we don't actually do the dev screen. And in here I want to call something that's going to make every obstacle go to the right instead of to the left for a few seconds. So I'll make a private coroutine, I'll call it revive, and what I will do in it is loop for each obstacle and find objects of type, so with an S, obstacle. So it's going to get all of the objects of type obstacle and loop them, and here I'll just do a O, so call it whatever you want. And then in my obstacle I'll create a public void reverse, and in this function I'll simply do rb.velocity equals to new vector2 5 0, so it's going to go to 5 instead of minus 5. And I'll create another one called forward, which is going to set it to minus 5 again. Now in my revive coroutine I'll do o.reverse, so it starts going in reverse. Then I will yield, return, new, wait for seconds, and then I don't know exactly how long I need to wait. Let's try 1. And I will simply do the same thing, but instead I'll call forward. And of course I need to, in my die, start the coroutine revive. So now if I start and I have 2 life and I hit something, it kind of makes me go backwards a little bit. And I guess that can help, but you can see it creates some bug. So just a little detail that I want to fix first is to add a public void update live or something, and in it I want to do live text.text equals to player data.live.toString, and if you want you can also call that here instead of sending it in the start, and that's because when we remove one life we want to do game.updateLive. The other issue with the poles that kind of seem to still go forward when we're going backwards, and that ends up creating 2 next to each other. I think the problem is that they're spawning while we're going backwards. So I think what I'll do is create a public void rewind timer or something, and then a float amount. And in here what I'll do is set the spawn timer plus equal amount, and also the cloud timer plus equal amount. And that's going to make sure that the timers are in match with the things going backwards. So in here, before doing the yield return, I want to do game.rewind timers, and I'll do 1, but I think I need to do 2 because it's kind of going backwards. So instead of doing 1 forward, it does 1 backwards, so that's 2. In fact, I will try 2 first and we'll see. So now if I have 2 live and I pass the first one and then I hit the second one, it should go back, and it seems to be working fine, so it seems that 2 was the right amount. Okay, now I will drag in one of my power-ups, unpack it completely, rename it to Powerup Live, put in my Powerup Live sprite, change the tag to live, add it as a prefab, delete it from my scene, and now in my game, I want to get the live prefab. And actually here, since I don't want two powers to spawn at the same spot, I want to do a else if to make sure that no two will spawn at the same spot. And here I will copy this again and instead instantiate my live prefab. And in my player, in the enter trigger, I want to check if the tag is equal to live, and if it is, then I want to do player data dot live plus plus, and then I want to do game.update live so we can see the new number. Let's not forget to set our prefab into our game script. And there you go, there's a live here, and when I pick it up, now I have 3, and if I hit something, I have 2 now, and if I hit something else, then I have 1. So it seems to be working pretty fine. If you're wondering how the chances here work, so here random.value will give you a random value between 0 and 1. So if we do greater than 0.8, that's 20%. If we do 0.9, then it's 10%. If we do 0.5, then it's 50%. So if you want them to be rarer, you can do 0.9 each. And for example, if you want the live to be even rarer, you can do 95, so it's 5%. So there you go, our game seems pretty complete now. Of course, you can always add some more features to it, or change the style, or change anything you want. Thanks for watching this tutorial to the end. Hopefully that was helpful to you. If it did help you, make sure to subscribe so you can see the other ones, and feel free to check out my other Unity tutorials.